There's nothing quite like the excitement of a big game, and we've got a massive one here at the Rizal Memorial Football Stadium. Welcome to the Philippines Football League, where Taguig FC is taking on the defending champions, Kaya FC-Iloilo. It's a matchup that has been looked forward to since the fixtures list came out. So glad you could join us here, Jing Hamlang and Cam Rodriguez, calling the action in what is one of the most anticipated clashes of the year.
Jeng, super excited for this matchup. It's a matchup of experience tonight with Kaya FC as the defending champions, a team that has been in the ACL for the past 2 years and going up against a team that is a newcomer on paper, but definitely when you look at the roster, has a lot of experience in their players.
That is a fantastic way to put it. Now let's take a look at the league standings just to see what is the implication of this contest. You can see Kaya and Taguig in places 2 and 3. So this is a top of the table clash with huge implications in how things will pan out for the rest of the season.
Absolutely. We see Kaya being undefeated in their first 3 games, and at the same time, Taguig also undefeated, and they're coming into this match as the underdog, and you already know what kind of mentality underdogs do bring to the table.
You can see the goal difference as well. 23 para sa Kaya and 16 para sa Taguig. So they have been scoring goals. They are in good form. Both of them with 3 wins in the bag, and it's time to see what they can do once they do clash on the pitch. Now let's focus in on Taguig. Nabanggit mo nga, Cam, no? They are a newcomer in the Philippines Football League. Pero kung titingnan mo yung lineup nila, it's actually a very experienced set of players. Now let's look at their previous results. Now, it got started in sort of a scuppering fashion. No, it wasn't really the flying start that was expected of Taguig, but they have gotten things going and they've scored 13 goals straight now without any response. Grabe ang pinapakita nitong Taguig.
Yes, so many goals, and front and center to that goal-scoring attack is Shimomura with 7 goals under his belt, with the support of 2 of his teammates, Tuason and Hiraishi.
So grabe ang pinapakita ng Taguig ngayon. But let's focus in now on their opponents. No strangers to the Philippine Football League supporters. Of course, this is the defending champions that you were talking about here. At nabanggit mo nga, no, 2 times na sila nakapunta sa AFC Champions League kung saan nakakalaban nila yung mga pinakamagagaling na mga clubs sa buong Asia. No? So tingnan naman natin yung mga resulta ng Kaya over the last 3 games. It started off with a huge test against UCFC, also a fellow early favorite to the title. They got over that test, and then they've just been flying ever since.
Exactly, Jing. And Kaya FC is entering this as with a good matchup under their belt. They are coming off like a quality performance last game with the likes of Eso and Yamazaki really shining.
Yes, very much so. No, yung nga nakita natin mula sa Kaya, it is a new set of players that are out there. Pero grabe ang pinapakita ng mga foreigners nila and their new additions. So it's a new and improved Kaya FC Iloilo set to take on Taguig. No, so we are just moments away from kickoff, but we do have an opportunity to check in with our pitch side reporter. Let's check in with Megan Cabrera.
We have 2 teams still perfect in the PFL, but one team will be spoiling records in this all-important match for tonight. So for Coach Giovanni Villagracia of Taguig, this may be a high-pressure game, but he believes in the tenure of his players. He says that even his young players were part of the ASCAL's development team, and he knows that they can deliver. On the other side, we have Coach Yu Hoshide of Kaya FC, who is banking on the work and training that his players have put in. So while they are defending champions, he says that all of them still have a lot to prove, and they're very eager and hungry for the win. So we are in for a match for today, and we have to see who will be claiming this victory.
Taguig. What a lineup they've got here today, and we will discuss a little bit more in detail who is lining up for them in this match. But equally for Kaya FC Iloilo, we've seen the likes of Shuto Komaki, we've got Kaiju Yamazaki, and of course Parky Young, who we can look forward to and to see how they will deliver against a big test like Taguig. There are so many questions right now between these 2 sides. What are we going to see from Taguig against quality opposition? Will Kaya be able to continue their title charge and stay perfect in the league? All of these will be answered in just a few moments as we look at now the two teams who are set to enter the pitch. Here we go, folks.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. There's the teams of Taguig FC and FC-Iloilo.
These are the matches where reputations are built. We take a look at Taguig's starting 11. Quincy Camarad taking on his former team. Stefan Schrock, De Tosme, Ingreso in the middle of midfield. At the back, you've got Eric Gallantes, Custodio, Usman, and Ali Mahmoud. Up top, Patrick Grog, Shimomura, and Hiraishi leading the charge. It is a potent attacking force para dito sa Taguig. Now let's take a look at the starting 11 for Kaya. It is a familiar one from what we've seen in the opening 3 matches. Menzi on the right, Arboleda in the middle. I'm not sure this will be the case. Diano and Saito as well in the back 4. Komaki, Park, Eso, and Yamazaki lining up in midfield. And you've got Melisa and Gayoso leading the charge.
Very exciting lineup, Jing. We see the likes of Komaki there. He had a really excellent performance in the previous game, scoring 3 goals, and I believe he will be a man to watch for Taguig tonight.
Man in the middle is Chris Mark Nanyola. What a responsibility on his shoulders today. There is a possibility things could get heated today, and he is helped by Paul Galicia, Francis Engalgado, and Mick John Pineda will be the 4th official. It'll be up to them to ensure this thing stays within the acceptable norms of physicality. As you would expect, both teams going to take this one extra seriously today. In fact, Stefan Schrock has been brought back into the starting 11. We haven't seen him since opening day. So he's come out for the big one.
Exciting as well for the fans who come out here and see familiar faces. Players like the likes of Schrock, Misa, who's also on the bench for Taguig. These are players coming out of their retirement, quote-unquote, and featuring for this new club. And this is what Philippine football is about, showcasing old and new and just testing each other.
Now we are underway here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. As you said, it is a showcase of the very best footballing talent in the country right now. So as expected, that back line, Arboleda on the left for Kaya, and Diano on the right, which means Marco Casambre will be on the bench today. Arnel Amita also not amongst the starters for Taguig. He's been a fixture in their previous outings. But with the return of Stefan Schrock, he is on the bench today. If we recall, against Manila Monte, Stefan Schrock lasted just a few moments, in fact, in that match before being withdrawn. So he is going to be a man to keep an eye on to see how long he will stay on the pitch.
With players like Schrock, you would expect him with his experience to be effective in his movement, efficient where he can, and it's interesting to see him pretty high up on the pitch.
Understandably, in the last 2 outings of Kaya, team sat back against them and allowed them to operate, and it didn't pan out well for them as Park Hee-young takes contact right away here. Early on, he's been the conductor for Kaya so far this season, and it seems he's being given some extra attention already here.
Park Hee-young, just before he fell on the ground, had two Taguig players on him. And when we look at, you know, when you enter a match like this, you would need to study players, and it seems like Taguig has done their homework, and we will see how they continue to play this match.
Walid Biru, it's only conceded one so far. That was a great strike from Lucas Del Rosario. Been solid as the new man in between the sticks. Arboleda. Cayoso had an arm over his shoulder, and it is going to get called. So early foul on Usman. So early free kick in opposition territory here. Shuto Komaki and Janja Meliza over the ball para sa Kaya. We've seen them be a threat in set pieces, in open play. Goals in every which way Kaya have scored so far this season. We'll see if they can make this one count early on. Wants a word with some of the players inside the box. See Chris Mark Nanyola. Too much pushing and shoving going on for his liking. Komaki's ball headed away by Schrock. Menzi doing well not to pass that ball back to Arboleda, who's under pressure.
Kaya here right now looking very composed. We could see right off the bat, Taguig and White are looking to press in the moment, but we see Kaya being calm, composed, but something to watch, you know, as the game trails on, that they would not want to be too relaxed, too composed, especially against the likes of Taguig, who seems to be very physical right off the bat.
All the way back to Biru. Saito. Quick ball. Looking to release Yamazaki on the left side. He's under pressure from Mahmoud Ali.
That was encouraging from Kaya FC. Just a couple of moments before the ball was released, Yamazaki actually made an overlapping run where he and Komaki switched, and those kinds of switches confuse the defense, and that might be the kind of play that can break the Taguig defense.
Galiantes. It's cleared away. Custodio. Stefan Schrock. Skips past one. Looking to thread the needle. May contact doon mula kay Arboleda. Let's take a look at it here. It's clipped. Naoto Hiraishi is going to be one of the men to watch in this match.
He does have a couple of goals under his belt supporting his striker Shimamura. So definitely someone to watch on the wings for Kaya FC.
It's a big game for a lot of these players, not only because of the title implications, but there's a lot of eyeballs in this game. Some of them in the box from the national team setup. A lot of players here that have still the potential to play for their country and perhaps would like to get their opportunity to be noticed.
Exactly. And these are the kinds of matches, honestly, as a player, that you would want to play in because it is a test for yourself but also for your team, no, na gusto mo galingan talaga kasi gusto mo ipakita kung anong kaya mo.
Gallantes backtracking, spots the danger. Gayoso was probing in behind. Opening exchanges. No openings so far.
I think Taguig has done a good job being compact. Kung nakikita natin ngayon, lahat sila magkakalapit lang and they're making sure that they stay together and you don't give Kaya space because when you give a team like Kaya space, they will capitalize on it and they will be dangerous.
Yamazaki taking an attempt from way out. Not going to be troubling Quincy Camarad. Another one of those players with something to prove today. Quincy Camarad was in between the sticks for the Champions League last year for Iloilo. And then may bago siyang chapter in his career with Taguig. Got a lot of distance on that, but beyond his teammates.
I think in that moment, Camarad was looking to do a direct play, but Kaya FC is there to just catch the ball and restart this game.
Komaki took a little too much time on the ball. He's been robbed of possession. Taguig now probing. Ingreso looking for a bit of room. It's all very tight. Goes out wide. And it's cleared away. Park Young defending centrally here for Kaya. Hiraishi right there looking to pounce. So first corner kick of the match, mapupunta dito sa Taguig. They haven't had much of the ball yet so far in this game. And that corner kick gonna go over.
Just then and there, Jing, we could see the Taguig players crowding the keeper, and that is one of the parang strategies that you can do as a team, diba? You have to, as much as possible, distract the goalkeeper para pag dumating yung bola, it causes confusion in the goalkeeper. And as a team that's going up against Kaya FC, the defending champions, they would want to create as much confusion as possible.
Ali. Camarad assessing his options. He's got a few up top to aim for. Hiraishi taking over. Schrock in space. He's played it quickly out wide. Ingreso asking for it, didn't receive it in the middle. Taguig now hoping to just keep a little bit more possession here. Been doing a lot of running without the ball. Custodio, it's a lovely ball forward. Gallantes was the intended target. Offside nga lang.
So far, Jing, 10 minutes into the first half, and it's the first time, I think, in the past 3 games of Kaya FC where they have not yet scored a goal. And this goes to show what kind of match this is going to be. It's not going to be an easy match for Kaya. It's not going to be an easy match for Taguig, and I believe it's going to be a game of moments.
It's a different kind of test for Kaya today. We're on the front foot basically from the get-go against United City. And sabi mo nga, they scored early in the other 2 matches as well. So they always had that feeling of confidence all throughout the game. And today, they're being made to work a little bit harder here by Taguig, which is what everybody has been expecting.
Exciting matchup, Jing. Yeah, and we still have 80 more minutes of open play to go. Hi.
It's a battle on the sideline between Giovanni Villagrascia and Yu Hoshide. It should be interesting how things adjust and change as this match progresses.
And this game is played at 6 p.m. and there will not be any water break, so that kind of a dynamic also changes how the match will wear on as the minutes go.
Of course, na adjust yung mga kickoff times, no? Just a day or two ago to give way to this exceptional heat that we're all experiencing in Metro Manila, in all over the country, really.
Yeah, it really has been unforgiving. And as football players, to some extent, you have to put up with it. But there is a fine line between, you know, weather being a factor and it just being not conducive and healthy for players.
It's good to see Ultras Kaya out in full support today. Always make a nice, lively atmosphere here at Rizal Memorial Stadium, and it's a good number have come out to enjoy this match.
Yeah, talking about atmosphere, this just shows what kind of game this is, that people are coming out to watch really good seasoned players, a match like Taguig versus Kaya FC.
Galiantes is under pressure there, mula kay Miliza. That's going to be a matchup to look out for. Two speedy players out there on the far side.
We were just talking about Meliza's pace, diba? Na as he grows older, parang mas bumibilis pa siya. So when you have two players who are speedy, it would be interesting to see how it pans out. Like, do they maximize the stop and go movement to shift one out of their direction? So really interesting.
Custodio trying to get distance on this one. You got plenty on that one. Gayoso getting his head to it. And Galiantes doing well to deny Meliza. So far, he's been doing well to deny Meliza from getting to top speed so far today. And here is Jesus. Diano. Gayoso has found a pocket. Flashes across goal. We take a look at the passing accuracy from both sides. Kaya upwards of 91. Taguig just a little bit below that one. Always dangerous when that ball goes across your goal. Quincy Camarad called into action but missed it.
And when you have a player like Komaki there waiting, you really have to be focused and switched on as defenders kasi hindi mo gusto na, again, football is a game of moments. One moment, one split second where you lose focus and it results to a goal. And when you have a team like Kaya FC where you are stacked with experience, you can get punished when you do switch off.
Patrick Grog setting up Schrock, and the return ball much too strong. Meanwhile, I can give you an update of a match that's taking place in Cebu, as Dynamic Herb is 6-0 up over Maharlika Taguig. Two Taguig teams in action today. One of them suffering quite a bit, and still with over 20 minutes to go in Cebu. Gayoso trying to get it to the Komaki. Gets a touch to it. Eso! That's going to go wide.
Just the amount of players there waiting in Kaya FC for that shot just tells na gusto nila lahat makascore, and they can be dangerous lalo na pag binigyan ng space. And just here in this moment, makita natin ang daming white shirts or ang daming players from Taguig being compact and making sure that they stifle as much threat as possible.
You saw Meliza having a word with The referee Nanyola, no? Natamaan si Gayoso at the edge of the box, and he was saying maybe you should have pulled it back for a foul, but of course when you give advantage and you get a shot away, you cannot pull it back for a free kick. Meanwhile, Gayoso has gotten in behind Usman. He's taken a tumble. It looks like the feet got crossed. Gayoso brought down here at the edge. Let's take a look. Usman's got his hands up, but there's definitely a bit of contact. And when you're running with that pace, you're certainly going to hit the ground.
Lalo na pag malapit ka sa penalty box, hindi ka pwede talaga magkamali dyan. So I think the best option Usman could have done was really to just slow down, be patient. But unfortunately, he has afforded a free kick for the opposing team.
Gayoso is inside the box. A couple players over it. It looks like Odi Menzi is actually quite interested. He scored from a similar kind of territory in the last match against Maharlika.
Interesting to see what kind of strategy Kaya will execute in this play.
Komaki, the left-footed option. Odi lining it up once more. He's going to go for it. It's going to go over. Only one side has had shots today, and that goes the way of Kaya. They've got 5 so far, but only 1 on target.
And when we look at numbers, makita din natin na mas marami yung completed passes ni Kaya FC-Iloilo, no? Na ngayon, ang possession ay nasa kanila with 53% and 47-1 Taguig. And as the match has rolled on, like Kaya FC has been on the ball more, and 1 Taguig has done a good job just being compact and defending against them and trying to recover the ball as much as possible and making it hard for Kaya FC.
Nauna na lang ng konti doon si Tsukasa Shimamura. Closing in on 20 minutes here, Cam. If you are Giovanni Villagracia on the sideline, are you happy with what you're seeing so far from your side?
Most definitely. It seems like 1 Taguig's game plan is to be as compact as possible. Kung may string that connects all players, it seems that they have been compact and they have been making it hard for Kaya FC.
Here's a moment. Komaki just couldn't bring it under his spell. Gayoso. Taguig able to clear. Gayoso found a pocket of room. And now it's Grog who's being released on the opposite flank. Tricky with the ball at his feet. Patrick Grog. He makes something here. He's found room on the right side. Hidaishi. Cutting in. And it's a clean one from Komaki.
Yeah.
Picking up a bit of pace here. Yamazaki on the stretch.
We see Kaya trying, but also we see how composed they can be on the ball. Na kanina nakita natin yung bola na kay Komaki at may opportunity to pass forward to Gayoso, pero nakita niya na risk versus reward, hindi makakakuha ng reward at that moment at inikot niya lang yung bola.
Custodio. Crucial intervention against Gayoso. All the white shirts back very quickly inside their own half. Nahanap ng buwang si Yamazaki. He's got Diano in support. Park with a probing ball in behind. It's going to be a goal kick. He's the star man in the last outing, Shuto Komaki. Scoring 3. Hasn't really gotten off to the best of starts so far here in this match. Still waiting to make his moment. We're going to switch the play. Diano alert to the danger. So. Well dispossessed. The Tosme has room to run. Arboleda. Nice little duel there with Hiraishi. Aso.
Arboleda did a good job there, making sure to put his opponent off balance. Diba nakita natin, medyo nag-insert siya ng katawan. And as we know, football is a contact sport. And when both players are going at it, you would want to be patient and as competitive on the ball as possible. Lalo na kung gusto nyo panalunin yung bola.
Ali spotting the danger well. Mahmoud has been busy so far today. He's been doing well to ensure the front line of Kaya are quiet. Arboleda has ventured forward. Komaki doing well, getting to the end line. Can he find a teammate? Moment here for Gayoso. Just wide. What a chance for Kaya.
Warning signs, Jing. We could see that Kaya is now starting to knock and break down the vulnerabilities in Taguig's defense, and that was just a few inches shy of the goal. And really, Taguig has been warned.
Nabanggit nga natin si Shuto Komaki kanina na hindi pa siya masyado nakakabigay ng kanyang contribution in the game. And nakakita tayo doon ng glimpse of what he's all about. Great close control and awareness to find a teammate as well. Harvey Gayoso. You'd expect him to finish that one off, a man of his quality. You can't afford to give him too many of those.
Tama. Especially pag striker at ganun kakalapit sa goal. Talagang yun yung bread and butter mo. Gusto mo makashoot ka. And like what you said, you really can't give him the space and the opportunity to have a shot on goal.
Really good in transitions, Kaya, to get out of their back line. Done so again here very cleanly. Park Yi-young now. Hiraishi always so quick to press Arboleda. Eso. Gets it out wide. It's a tricky ball to deal with. Komaki. He's going to be one-on-one here with Mahmoud Ali. Elise has drifted inside. Park. Want to stay on this left side. Lovely little exchange. Schrock dispossessed. Ingresso under pressure. He's been clipped there by Yi-young.
In that moment, we could see Taguig just being patient, shifting left to right. At kung makita natin yung body language ng players, may kita natin para sila nagsasabihan sa loob ng pitch, di ba? Tao, man, cut the passing lane. And they're doing a good job at that. And if they continue to hold on to this defensive ability and have those breakaways that we saw earlier on that they're capable of, it will definitely be a match, an interesting match to occur.
Let's take a look at this. That was Taguig's perhaps most dangerous venture into Kaya's half. Ito kanina yung cross ni Gayoso that went across goal. And then he had a moment for himself earlier as well. Menzi with a shot from a free kick. I think have done well to keep the number of clear-cut chances to a minimum.
And when we look at the total shots that Kaya FC has had, they have had 6 shots on goal with 1 of them on target. Meanwhile, Taguig has had that half chance that we saw earlier on.
Meanwhile, ang possession natin, 50-50. It's been that kind of game.
Ito na nga, game of moments. So pag sinasabi natin game of moments, especially in a football match where you have 90 minutes of open play and teams are neck to neck trying to really break through in that one moment, it makes the match all the more exciting because it can go either way.
Seeing President John Gutierrez up there. And you've got the director of national teams and the manager of the Philippine men's national team next to him, John Gutierrez and Freddy Gonzalez up there in the box, enjoying the action, and I'm sure keeping a watchful eye on players that impress and could be involved in the next window, which takes place in June.
And this is what the league is for, right? It's to really identify what kind of talent we have here in the league. And with 15 teams for this year's league, it's all the more encouraging for Philippine football.
A ball from Schrock there, bringing Beru off his line. Hasn't had much to do today, Walid Beru, but he's looking to catch Taguig sleeping there. Medyo nag-skip ng beat ng konti yung mga supporters ng Taguig. That one bobbled a little bit with Quincy.
When we talk about mental fortitude, you know, as the game wears on, both teams would need to remain focused and again switched on. Na talagang one moment of being dispossessed or loss of focus can be a goal for, could cost them a goal.
And this is one of the biggest changes para sa Kaya this season has been the calmness that they have now in midfield. Just Yamazaki and Park basically playing a 2-man game to get through. Now Arboleda pulling the trigger. The ease in which they were able to retain possession and venture forward, very impressive mula dito sa Iloilo.
At nakikita natin din na naman yung involvement ng wingbacks nila, di ba? Na si Arboleda as a left back. When we follow the game of football, you would expect him to just stay in his defensive line, but he has helped the team in attack, and in that moment, it just adds another man to mark for Taguig. And again, football is a game of numerical advantage, and you'd want as much players as possible against the team. Kaya ito yung nakikita nating parang weapon ni Kaya FC so far.
I guess it's also a reflection of the confidence they have in their center backs and their midfield players to retain possession that, sige, mauna ka na. Fitch, pwede ka na mauna dun sa left side, no? And Star Polaris is the official match ball of the PFL. And it's in Stefan Schrock's possession right now. And he's clipped Eric Esso there. And certainly feeling the effects of that, the Ghanaian.
Interesting to see Taguig. Every time they have the ball, they really just push forward. We see the person with the ball move the ball forward, but at the same time, the supporting players talang tumatakbo sila palapit ng goal. And those kinds of forward runs can cause, again, confusion towards the defensive line of Kaya FC, where it makes them think, sino bang mamark ko? Ang goal in this moment, ang player, the passing angles, and there's so much factors.
Definitely a strong clip there. No arguments to be won from Stefan Schrock. Arrived there just half a second late, as Eric Esso is still feeling the effects of it. It's going to need a bit of treatment here. Itong si Eric Eso, and nakita naman natin si referee Chris Mark Nanyola, no? Binigyan niya ng stern warning. Si Stefan Schrock, you expected any sort of similar type of contact that he makes again in this game will result in a booking.
And Stefan Schrock, being one of the key players of Taguig, needs to be careful because if he is booked with a yellow card, that might affect how the rest of their league goes on.
Eso is up after receiving a bit of treatment. Looks like he'll be okay to continue. Schrock continuing the conversation here with referee Chris Mark. Meanwhile, play will continue here. Kaya momentarily with 10. I guess so, back on the pitch already. Arboleda. Under pressure there, Ori Menzi. Bit fortunate. Grog. Taguig had done well to hound the Taguig players. And Mahmoud Ali, smart to get the play going quickly. Patrick Grog now. Venturing inside. He's tricky with the ball at his feet, Patrick Grog. Arboleda doing well to keep that in play. Usman, no nonsense from him, despite being in the opposition half.
Oh, parang sinasabi niya, yung hit lang niya ng bola, kausap niya si Coach Giovanni dyan sa sideline. But in that moment, I believe he made the best choice, which is to play it safe for his team.
From Nigeria, si Ilemuna Usman. So far has kept things tight, nice and tidy at the back.
He has been that anchoring player for the Taguig backline.
It's quite a step up. He was playing in Manila Digger last year. Now he's finding himself here with Taguig against the best team in the country. And in the first booking, may bibigay dito kay Mar Vincent Diano for that tug back, trying to stop the counter-attack.
Ito na yung sinasabi natin na it seems to be that kind of game where it can get physical, especially with a balanced scoreline of 0-0, and as time wears on and pressure builds, players would need to be more careful with their contact with each other.
And he's going to be a marked man here, itong si Mar Vincent Diano. No? He's in that right back position, and we did mention that he is up against Patrick Grog, who is a tricky player. And it seems it's either him or Hiraishi who's going to be on his side. So he's going to have to be very careful about any contact he makes with those players.
Definitely a lot of work cut out for him. And with tricky players on his side, he would need to be a little bit more patient and be safe with his contacts against his players.
Arboleda reading the movements of Grog expertly there. Knew what the intention was and felt the contact from behind.
Arboleda there being smart with the use of his body. Diba nakita natin parang hinintay niya yung push ni Grog dun sa side, and yung turo sa amin yan growing up, it's called a body block.
Schrock first to it. Naliza losing his footing. Custodio finding Hiraishi out wide. He's got room to run. He's got support. Caliantes on the overlap. Ingreso now. Clipping it over, Eric Gallantes into the middle. Attack still alive here. Exactly the man you'd want to find in the box for one Taguig, Tsukasa Shimomura, but he couldn't get it on target.
Just the technique of the chip pass to the wing, to Gallantes, to that cross across the box of Kaya FC. If we were talking about warning bells 20 minutes earlier on, this is Taguig's warning bells to Kaya FC that they need to stay focused.
Nakita natin what Kevin Ingreso can do as well, no? He's been biding his time, waiting for his moment to make a contribution. It was a fantastic outlet onto the left side. A bit of a worrying sign here dahil nangangailangan ng treatment si Walid Biru. No contact on him whatsoever, but he's feeling something, that's for sure.
And this moment gives the players a break, a time to reset, also time to hydrate. I mean, even without the sun, it is still very humid here, and as a player, di ba, parang you're sweating a lot, so you would need to replace and replenish your body of fluids to stay in shape for the whole 90 minutes.
Biru looks like he's going to be okay. Definitely a good time to take the sting out of the game there for Kaya, as they had their goal threatened in a real way for really the first time in the game. It's something to keep an eye on, though, that right calf of Walid Biru. You see the grimace on his face? And he's going to be under pressure now as Stefan Schrock is picking up steam. Gets it out wide. Hiraishi. Into the middle. Stefan Schrock going for the spectacular there. Still has that in his locker. Stefan Schrock, but he's holding on to his groin. He was actually already in a bit of pain before that ball came out to him, but he just couldn't resist.
Rinig nga natin yung impact ng shot na yon kay Stefan Schrock dito sa mga nanonood sa Rizal Memorial Stadium. And that's just one of the things that Stefan Schrock has up his locker that can be pivotal for his team.
Of course, sa mga games na tight na katulad nito, these moments of brilliance are the ones to unlock it. And when you look on the pitch, wow, so many players that have that ability to just provide a moment of brilliance in this match.
Or yung sinasabi nga nila yung X factor, whether that be a player or that one move that really changes the game.
Usman still in play here. Groga done well. Menzi making sure Shimomura couldn't get a sniff. Gallantes doing well to get in front of Jesus Meliza. It's been a frustrated figure so far on the right side para sa Kaya. Hasn't gotten going today. Eric Gallantes, one of the reasons why.
In the previous matchup, we could see that Meliza really utilized his pace against his defender. So with when you go up against a defender that has the same amount of pace as you, or even a little bit more experience as those you have gone up against, as a player, you would definitely need to sort of switch your strategy. Ba? Parang kakambyo ka. If this isn't working, okay, you have plan B, you have plan C, and you really just switch it up.
Touched on. I think Shimomura had come from an offside position. Expected to be a competitive affair. We're certainly getting that today. Still scoreless with 4 minutes to go in regulation. expect a bit of added time in this one. Komaki has Arboleda in support. Yamazaki exchanging with Gayoso. Diano has arrived. So organized at the back, one Taguig. They leave so little room to take advantage of. They remain disciplined. Diano ngayon. Nakarating kay Miliza. It's into the chest of Quincy Camerad. It's got Patrick Grog to release. Keeping possession here. Beyond the Tosme. One aspect where Taguig have struggled a little bit is in keeping the ball.
It seems like one Taguig's game plan is really be as compact as possible and catch Kaya FC off guard in their counter-attack. But just in this moment, Arboleda clipped and the play restarts.
Medyo nakaswerte doon. Si Arboleda looked like he was heading out of bounds. Grog doing him a favor. We're gonna get that ball inside. It's fallen to Komaki. He's gonna get it back out wide. Diano. Lots of bodies trying to find an opening. Custodio doing well there for Taguig. Been away for the game for a year. Itong si Matthew Custodio, and he's come back and he looks like he just hasn't missed a beat.
Aside from Custodio, I was able to have the pleasure of talking to Misag earlier in terms of how he was able to prepare, and what stood out to me with what he said is the mindset and the belief that he has for his team, but also towards himself. Na sabi niya, I've been in the highest level. Parang there's nothing left of me to prove to anyone, but him showing out here, and it reflects also with his teammates, is that they want to prove themselves right in what they can do. And I think that's a really good mindset to have, especially as a newcomer, as an underdog coming into the Philippine Football League this year.
Definitely Custodio has that experience, has that belief in himself. He is a title-winning player in the past, and he's bringing that experience here to one Taguig. As Eric Esso repays the favor here to Stefan Schrock. They got entangled earlier on.
Really has been a back and forth in play, but also in players.
Lovely ball across from Matthew Custodio to Grog. Esso coming in hot there, but late against Kevin Ingresso. He's upset at the call. So are the Taguig players about the contact that was made. Kevin Ingresso not pleased with the damage that was done. Eric Esso certainly getting a bit emotional here. You see 3 minutes ang idadagdag sa ating half. You see the reaction mula kay Kevin Ingresso. They seem to have made up here.
Still some words exchanged though, Jing, towards the end.
Ingresso perhaps not happy that he's tousled his hair there. He keeps it immaculate at all times.
Ito na yung nakikita natin or sinasabi natin na magiging intense nga yung matchup na to. And with 3 minutes of added time left, this matchup hasn't disappointed.
Grog with a looper there. Easy one for Biru to catch. This was a dangerous ball in behind. That pace of Gayoso causing all kinds of problems.
And also that distribution from Beru, a quick play you could say from their side of the pitch all the way to set his teammate up in front of the goal.
Komaki Could be an opportunity for one last attack here for Kaya. Park just looking to lob that in behind. Might take a bit more inventiveness to open up this back line of Taguig.
Taguig has done a good job really being so disciplined and patient and focused. Really has stifled all the shots of Kaya FC so far.
Park getting to the ball. Strong challenge, but a clean one. Schrock up against Audi Menzi. Able to skip past one. That's a crucial intervention mula kay Eric Esso.
Esso here.
Fired up.
He is. I was going to say, is it emotion or passion? And I think it's a bit of both.
Let's take a look at it here. Stefan Schrock able to brush past Audi Menzi. Couldn't do so against Eric Esso.
Stefan Schock did well there, staying on his feet and really catching your defender off balance. And as an attacker, you'd want to keep doing that.
Especially after his first outing against Manila Monte, when he didn't last very long on the pitch. There were a lot of question marks of, Stefan Schrock still had the legs to compete really at a high level. But he's showing today against the very best of opposition here in the PFL that he is still a threat out there on the pitch.
Yes, you said it. You said it well, Jing. And it's so encouraging to see players like Stefan Schrock just being prideful in how he plays. And that's something that you can expect from a player of his caliber.
Gallantes past the 3-minute mark, and there is the halftime whistle. Mula kay Chris Mark Nanyola. It's been a tight contest between the two teams. We expected it to be competitive, and we've gotten definitely a match that is delivering. Scoreless at the break between the defending champions Kaya FC-Iloilo and the newcomers, the new contenders, Taguig FC. 0-0 at the break. We'll be right back.
PFL fans, today we have with us Sir Freddy Gonzalez, our national teams director and our men's national team manager. Sir Freddy, all-important game here today. How are you liking it so far?
So far, so good. I mean, both teams I feel like they're kind of weighing each other, kind of measuring each other out first before they fully commit. Parang they seem to be, just kind of waiting for each other to make a mistake. So I'm hoping second half, like one of the teams actually starts to dictate the pace a little bit more and start to really push it, So far it just seems like they're kind of being very careful and waiting to see who makes the first mistake, right? So, but yeah, no, it's basically two of the top teams in the league, and so it's good to see we're evaluating a few players actually that are playing today for the national team. So.
Perfect. So yes, you just mentioned that you're evaluating some players here, but with the PFL just raising Philippine football altogether, what can you say the impact of this league is with regards to Philippine football as a whole?
Well, it's a big part of really developing Philippine football, because you need for the players coming out of high school, out of college, to play in a very competitive league, and this is the new PFL, so it's 15 teams, so you're obviously going to see some kind of lopsided results a little bit, but that's just the growing pains. But the fact that they're playing week in, week out, the fact that they're training every day is a big step, because when they come to the national team, any player selected, they need to be match fit, right? And so that's the most important thing for us in the national team, is that they're playing.
The national teams have some upcoming events in June. I think it's high time to invite all of our football fans.
Yeah, no, we're playing our two away matches in June 6 and June 11 in Vietnam and Indonesia. And then after that, we will be doing a local-based player camp, probably in July. And then I can't quite reveal everything we're going to be doing yet, but I think the fans will really like what we're planning for September, October, November. It's going to be pretty exciting what we're planning, so just wait till we announce what we're going to do.
Thank you so much, Sir Freddy. Looking forward to all of the events of the Philippine national team. Now we turn you back over to Jing and Cam.
Megan, always great to have the director of national teams here present, especially for the players also to know that you're being kept a close eye on in your performances. As we take a look at the statistics from that first half, 53% possession for Kaya FC-Iloilo. They had the majority of the shots, but only 2 of them on target. Meanwhile, a bit of a quiet day for Taguig going forward, but defensively it was a very resilient performance from them.
When we look at the stats, we could see that shots-wise, we expect Kaya to be dominant in their attack because of how they performed in the past 3 games. But what is not telling here in the statistics for One Taguig FC is how threatening they can be in the counter-attack, and they are looking to capitalize on the vulnerabilities of the Kaya defense, and it will definitely be an interesting next 45 minutes.
Well, certainly will be a very interesting 45 minutes. Going to be very interesting what is being talked about in the dugout right now. Cam, if you were to put yourself in the shoes of Coach Giovanni and Coach Yu, what would you be telling your players?
If I was Coach Giovanni, I would tell the players to stick to the game plan. It seems that they have prepared for this matchup very well. It has shown in their defensive ability to stay disciplined and to just keep trying to catch Kaya FC off guard in their counter. helps them push forward. It adds to the fight of the team, and they have definitely put that into advantage today versus Maharlika.
Certainly against in their home ground again as well. No home turf nila. They are so familiar with that field and its dimensions, and as you said, having that home crowd behind them. It's a challenge for everyone who will have to go and visit them in Cebu.
And it is definitely also a lesson for Maharlika Taguig right now, where they have faced back-to-back defeats versus the title contenders. So it is definitely a lot of learning for them as they go on into the next couple of matches, where they, in the next couple of matches, have an opportunity to show naman what they can do as Maharlika.
Meanwhile, the players slowly making their way back onto the pitch, as we are set to see action between Kaya FC-Iloilo and 1 Taguig. Still 0-0 after the opening half. And we'll see if there are going to be changes in approach, changes in personnel between the two teams. But ang Taguig ang nauna dito sa field. And so far, you're looking at the faces there. Nothing has changed so far in terms of personnel out there. And not surprising para kay Coach Giovanni Villagracia, dahil maganda naman ang ipinakita ng kanyang mga players in that opening half. Certainly, you wouldn't have too much to complain about, except for the fact that perhaps they could have kept the ball more, passed the ball more. But other than that, it was a pretty impressive opener for them.
They definitely started off the match pretty well. They did not concede a goal, so that's always a positive sign when you're going up against title contenders like Kaya FC. So interesting 45 minutes to see how they will adjust to what they have learned in the first half against their opponents. And the game of football, you know, it's played between two 45-minute halves, and the learning has to be quick, and that's where players need to learn quick, but also in terms of the coaches needing to adjust where they see fit.
Meanwhile, we are underway here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium.
Right away, Jing, we could see both of the fullbacks of Kaya FC very positive in the attack. And the ball forward just tells the intention, siguro, for the rest of the match. Now, we need to attack more. We need to keep the ball in the opposing half to continue to pile the pressure on for 1 Taguig.
Trying to overload this right side. Kaya, Custodio getting distance on that. Ingreso. You saw him very animated during the huddle. He's taken a shirt full of Melisa here and has brought him down. No extra action from the referee. Diano given a booking for something similar, but of course it was a breakaway on the flank. Ingreso getting away with one there.
He has to be careful, especially because he is wearing the captain's armband today, and when you're a leader, you set the tone for the rest of your teammates, and actions like that, I think, especially as the game wears on, can be dangerous if you aren't careful.
Gallantes doing well again. He's been sharp today against a very difficult test in Janjan Melisa, but he's given away a corner kick. Kaya didn't have too many of these in the first half. We'll see if they're able to take advantage.
Set pieces in a match like this can be crucial because, again, a game of moments when the ball is really within the penalty box. It can be the danger zone for 1 Taguig FC, and for Kaya FC, the opportunity to capitalize.
Komaki has been shooed away. Melisa is going to deliver this one. It's a deep one. And easy for Camarad to collect. Mahmoud Ali firing that one into the path of Hiraishi. We spoke about Eric Gallantes being solid on the left side of their defense. Certainly his opposite number, Mahmoud Ali, has been as well. Custodio, very physical there with Melisa. Meanwhile, Eric Esso is down and he's clutching his thigh. Bit of a worry here for Kaya. Not sure he took contact in the middle of the pitch.
The heat is definitely on, Jing, especially with how the first 3 minutes of this match has played out. Players are now more physical. There is a certain urgency of how passing has been for both teams, and really the game is on.
It was a feeling out process in the first half, and it seems both teams now have an understanding of what's necessary. And they've come out firing here in the second half. Gayoso, well challenged by Usman. Shutokomaki delivering a ball. Eric Gallantes getting on the end of it. Bit loose from Grog, but Shraki has recovered. Melisa has been on the receiving end of some tough challenges today. And there is that yellow card for Stefan Schrock. He was already on the tightrope earlier on. And Stefan Schrock speaking to Melisa there. You can see him mouthing the words, Jan Jan.
Parang kay referee din eh. Ref, wala naman yun. Part naman yun ng game.
Chris Mark Nanyola, to his credit, did not forget his infraction in the first half. Komaki playing it short. Park Yi-young well shepherded there by Eric Gallantes. Sharp and alert, the left back. And already just 5 minutes into the second half, you can feel the tempo, the intensity is different.
Definitely, and really good to see the community really come out and watch these two teams battle out the 3 points.
Saito making a lovely run to the front post, made contact, just couldn't get it between the goal.
Those runs are so tough to defend, Jing, kasi ang bilis-bilis mangyari, and when you make such a positive run like that, it only takes like a flick of a head to really make the difference between a cross and a goal.
Shimomura winning the header. Yamazaki getting in the way. Shuffle it well over to the left side, Taguig.
Gallantes with that overlapping run, we could really see the intent of wanting to attack, wanting to support. And this is what Taguig has been showing in the past 50 minutes, that they're here to really compete.
Ball ricocheted off of Melisa.
Diano doing well there to read the throw-in.
Schrock able to turn. Tosme. He's had a quiet game today. Expect him to be more involved here in the second. Bit of a different role for Joshua Dutosme. Made a reputation for himself as a left back for Ceres Negros. Played quickly. Shutokomaki in space. Usman coming over to cover, and he's done well. Using his body well against the Japanese winger.
Yeah, Komaki has been shifty.
Park Ji-young! Stinging shot from distance. What an attempt from the Korean. Kamerad now out to collect. And quickly out. Hiraishi tapping the brakes. And this one's gonna fall to Harvey Gayoso. He's pushed it. And he's gonna win a corner kick. Nope, goal kick. Total passes, as we see here, more than double for Kaya. And their advantage over Taguig, it's 183 to 84. Oh, what an attempt there from Park Ji-young.
I think just the power and the venom in that shot that forced Kamerad to really just block it. And it was an opportunity for Kaya to catch that shot off rebound, and those are opportunities that really could change the match.
It was in an area where you would expect na okay lang makawakan dyan kasi non-threatening zone, but now we know.
Truly.
Again, that battle between Gallantes and Meliza. You have to say, the young man, Eric Gallantes, has asserted himself well here against a savvy veteran. Tosme poking it away. But he's gotten too much of Kaishu Yamazaki. Young playing quickly. Meliza got power on that one. He's going to win a corner kick.
Kaya FC is trying in the first 10 minutes of this half na talagang gusto na nila tapusin. And when you are piling the pressure on your opponent, it gives you a little bit more advantage to give you the confidence to just keep trying and keep shooting. But at the same time, it can go the other way where it can build frustration.
Kumaki's ball headed away by Shimomura. Akito Saito still up from that center back position, so close. That one gonna go out for Ji-young. They're knocking on the door, Kaya.
Kaya FC with 11 shots now on goal, with 3 only on target, and this tells the story of their intent to want to shoot, but the opportunity to be better at shooting on target.
Hindi natin alam kung ano exactly ang sinabi ni Coach Yu Hoshide sa loob ng dugout, but we're getting a glimpse perhaps of what the message was. They've certainly been a lot more aggressive here early on.
Yeah, the intent to move forward really has been seen in 10 minutes alone. Nakikita natin na there's so much passes forward, more shots on goal in this 10 minutes than there have been in the previous half, and really they're here, they mean business, they want to finish it off.
Garog doing well to deny the pass. Both teams stepping it up a gear here in the second half. Ali to Tosme. Met Menzi. He's done well to keep the ball in their possession. Custodio here under pressure, and he's been robbed by Yamazaki. And what a recovery from Eric Gallantes. Absolutely crucial from the left back, as it seemed as if Kaya were gonna break free.
Eric Gallantes, just the intent and the mindset and mentality to keep the ball, to save his team from that counter-attack. Wow, what a player.
Great ball in behind for Shuto Komaki. Kamerad needing to get involved. Yamazaki hounded by white shirts. Can he find a teammate? Falls for Custodio.
Jing, what he was able to do is so difficult. You have 5 to 6 players around you, and you want to keep that ball, and just I think the composure that we see in Yamazaki was just spectacular in that moment.
You must say, equally, Taguig staying composed, staying disciplined, staying resolute in their defense. Star Polaris, the official match ball of the PFL. Quincy Kamerad had a few nervy moments. And then his goal is a lot more under pressure, but they've held firm. Kept in play. Good effort from Hiraishi. Lovely stuff from Komaki. Ingreso taking contact mula kay Eric Esso, and he's gonna wind up in the book here. He's just had too many fouls. Chris Mark Nanyola counting him out for him. There's been some lovely battles in midfield today. Tingnan natin ulit. Ingreso doing well, trying to get around Eric Esso. The body was just in the way. Not one of the more physical coming togethers inside that center circle, but it was enough.
And as it stands, Kaya Iloilo with 1 yellow card in Esso, and 1 Taguig with 1 yellow card in Stefan Schrock.
Actually, there's 2 for Kaya. Diano as well. Got a booking earlier.
That's correct. It really is turning out to be a very physical match. Really living up to its name of a good matchup.
Gayoso is peeled out wide. Komaki. Look at how many white shirts are back here. Space for Yamazaki! Off the upright. That's the best chance of the match so far.
Yamazaki just knew what that meant, what that could have meant for his team. And again, ito na yung mga sinasabi natin na mga forward runs that break lines, na it's so hard as a defender to track a man that is moving forward, lalo na yung kanong klaseng delivery and the flicking header. And those are the small moments na nakikita natin what this game is being built on.
What a find to see Yamazaki there. He's waiting for that ball back. Gallantes venturing forward. Akito Saitos snuffing out the danger very quickly. Shuto Komaki. Again, getting to the end line. So good at beating his man and getting a ball into the danger zone. Harvey Gayoso unable to direct that one on target.
Kaya FC has been putting pressure on the 1 Taguig defense line, and if 1 Taguig doesn't respond in the next few minutes, it might turn out negatively against them.
You definitely see a lot of open mouths there in that back line. They've been doing a lot of running. They've been backtracking quite a bit.
They really have been working hard the whole game, being defensive, making sure that they have their mans marked. And it's not easy, Jing. It's not easy to do that 63 minutes now in.
Eso pushed. Foul going to be called here. There are going to be a couple changes to be expected for Taguig. They're not going to come before this attack of Kaya. Komaki has really come alive here in the second half. Yamazaki, side netting. Close on 2 occasions now, the Japanese midfielder. A shot from Melisa bouncing around, and he's used his body well here. Shoot Yamazaki.
And we see now that there are reinforcements being brought onto the pitch for Taguig. We have Yannick Tuason entering as a forward, and we have Arnel Amita entering the pitch against his former team, Kaya FC.
So Naoto Hiraishi making way, Joshua Dutosme making way as well.
Replaced by player number 11, Yannick Tuason.
As you mentioned, Tuason and Amita onto the pitch as they try to affect this match with 25 minutes to go in regulation.
Both players, Jing, are not unfamiliar to the Philippine football scene. Both have been playing in this league in the past few years, and entering at this point in the match just shows the trust that their coach has in terms of changing the game for their team.
Of course, Arnel Amita, player of Kaya just last year. It's going to be a man with a point to prove in this one. And surprisingly, it's actually attacking players that have been brought on. It's a supporter of Yannick Tuason, that is for sure.
These are the sights that you enjoy seeing, no, Jing? Just the community support to come out and watch and really enjoy this beautiful game that both Taguig and Kaya FC has been showing.
Great to see Yannick's biggest supporter is here.
Totoo nga.
Amita's first touch. Under pressure immediately. And here come the substitutions for Kaya. Swainston coming on. He's going to be replacing Janjan Melisa.
Substitution for Kaya FC-Iloilo.
We're going to have Eric Eso replaced as well.
Mark Swinston. Substitution for Kaya FC-Iloilo.
As we see Lee Dok-Yung coming in. Amita. Dangerous square ball. Shuto Komaki has pounced on it. He's been a lot more dangerous in this second half.
Yeah, Komaki is utilizing his speed there, challenging his defender, taking him on, being parang medyo mysterious. Minsan magdidribble siya, minsan mag-shoot siya, minsan magko-cross siya. And these are the skills that you would need to have in your tool belt, especially when you're going up against an experienced defender who most likely watched a lot of game film and studied how you played in the past 4 games.
Cycling from right to left. Schrock out wide. Delivering a good ball into the box. Diano unable to clear. It's going to be a throw-in deep in enemy territory for Taguig. Taguig haven't had too many attacks in the second half.
This could be an opportunity for one Taguig to make something out of this play, being in the Kaya FC territory.
Offside ang itatawag dito kay Schrock. He's caught behind the defensive line there on the return pass. Meanwhile, for this man, had a bit of a scare in the opening period. I think he might have had a strain on his calf, but he's able to continue nicely here in the second. Hasn't had much to do at all, actually, in the second half. 15 total shots for Kaya. And for Walid, he's only had to deal with one from Taguig. All the way back to Camarad. Saito. Aggressive in attacking that ball, and he wins it. So far, Kaya doing well to ensure that most of the football is being played either in midfield or in the opposition half.
And with 20 minutes left in open play, they would definitely need to do that in order to get that elusive goal that they've been trying to secure in the past 70 minutes of the match.
One of the questions that's being asked is, totoo bang contender itong one Taguig in the Philippines Football League? Especially since bagong-bago sila dito sa liga natin. And after a bit of a slow start against Manila Monte, sinabi ng mga tao, siguro hindi pa hinog itong Taguig, but they're showing here today that they can go toe-to-toe here with the best, if not one of the best of the league in Kaya FC-Iloilo.
And numbers are showing here, Jing, na after 70 minutes of open play, 0-0 pa rin. And when we talk about being competitive, that is what it means, na hindi ka lang nag-go with the flow, hindi ka lang nagpapatulak. One Taguig has been showing that they want, that they're here and they're here to win it.
Penalty given! Kevin Ingressor, was it Matthew Custodio with a clip from behind on Yamazaki. And there's going to be a discussion between assistant referee and head referee about how much contact there really was. We're going to have an opportunity to see that one again, but the call was made, that's for sure. Kaiju Yamasaki going down. Was there enough contact for it to be a penalty? Let's see what the decision is. He's canceled that call after Custodio going in. He's taking a bite at it. Definitely wasn't a lot of contact. Or was it enough for a penalty? Let's take a look. Your call, Cam?
To me, because the defender Custodio touched the player first. Sorry. Just watching that replay, he seems to have gotten to the ball first before he made contact. And these, again, it is a game of moments. And that call by the referee could have changed the game. And as we could see here, they seem to be continuing to discuss.
Well, fantastic to be able to see so many different angles of it, for us to be able to enjoy the difficulty for the officials as well to make that call. Chris Mark Nanyola in a central position. You have the assistant who's able to see the ball move first, perhaps, And a great piece of collaboration between this officiating team to be able to make the right call.
And that's so important, especially in games like this where it's so tight, it's so competitive that calls by the officiating does make a big difference.
I like to see that cool heads from the officiating team, not allowing their emotions to get involved. I thought they were on the brink there of getting a penalty. Swainston. Yamazaki peeling out wide, and it's a strong tackle from Arnel Amita.
Just a small show of camaraderie in that moment between Amita and Yamazaki.
Balyantes coming down with some cramps, it seems. Not what you want to see. Kung ikaw ay taga-suporta ng One Taguig, dahil napakaganda ng pinapakita ni Eric Galyantes ngayong gabi.
Galyantes has been working hard on his flank the whole 75 minutes of open play, and hopefully he turns out okay because he has been a key player for One Taguig till this moment.
Easily one of the standouts ngayong laro. Not easy to keep Melisa quiet. He's been fantastic to start this season para sa Kaya, and he's been able to do that from that left back position.
Yes, I think as a defender, when you go up against key players or key players that are very strong attacking wise, your job is done pag na-minimize mo yung number of crosses nila, kung naunahan mo sila sa bola, and Galyantes has shown to have done that and more this game.
Another change here para sa Kaya as they bring on Robert Lopez Mendy in place of Shuto Komaki. Got into a lot of dangerous positions. Itong si Shuto Komaki just wasn't quite able to get an assist or a goal. And now they're gonna go for a more direct approach here with Robert Lopez Mendy, with Gayoso going out wide in Komaki's position. Galyantes looks like he'll be able to continue here. He's going to need to get back on the pitch as soon as possible because they are under pressure. Struggling to clear their lines. Diano clipped. Shimomura. Free kick now here. Deep territory. Park Yi-young over the ball. Everybody back defending for Taguig. And plenty of yellow and black inside the box as well. Kamerad collects that one. He's been the busier of the two keepers, but he's had an answer for everything thrown his way. Gayoso tracking back. Diagonal from Park Yi-young. One of the few balls he's led astray today.
We could see number 9, Lee Dok-young, getting ready to get on his bike and be on the receiving end of that pass. And Lee Dok-young being his second game of Kaya to show up for Kaya FC is looking to make an impact for his team.
Daming fans ni Yannick Tuason, ha? mga estudyante niya. Go coach, Yannick Tuason.
Nakakatuwa nga, may pa-headband pa sila at may pa-poster.
Here he is with his head to the ball. Trying to knock it on there for Grog. He's just been starved of the ball, Taguig. Here comes Amita. Gets it to Schrock. Ingreso. Could get it back. Tuason pulls the trigger. And that's the first real save for Walid Beru.
Tuason, as a substitute, is looking to make an impact. And when we talk about key players for Taguig FC, he has been one of the supporting roles and supporting players alongside Shimomura. And we just saw in that moment what he is looking to do in the last 10 minutes of the match.
Had a breakout in the Copa Paulino Alcantara with the Davao Aguilas. Itong si Yannick Tuason. And he's come over here to Taguig. You could see the killer instinct from their front man. Switch of play. Stefan Schrock's got room to operate. Getting to the end line. Ball met by Park Yi-young. Amita shows too much to Swainston. Lifted by Ingreso. Walid Beru not going to be troubled. Gallantes again. So solid as he dispossesses Lee Dok-yung and draws the foul from Diano. Embodying the spirit of Taguig here, Eric Gallantes. Oof. Diano needing to be careful here, already on a yellow.
Especially when you enter the last 10 minutes of the match, where as defending champions, you do have that pressure to score and to win the match. So Kaya FC and Diano in that moment needs to be a little bit more careful when defending.
He's pushed himself to the limit, Eric Gallantes. And he deserves to be applauded as he comes off for Jordan Jarvis. That's a loss for Taguig to have Gallantes off the pitch. But he's replaced by a quality player in Jordan Jarvis.
This can be an opportunity, Jing, for Taguig FC to capitalize on the few chances that they have inside the penalty box of Kaya FC.
Matthew Custodio, perhaps the main target there, the big man in their lineup.
Quito Saito with a big task at hand, trying to mark him.
Kevin Ingreso. Dangerous ball, but it's gonna go over. Jordan Jarvis actually called for the foul there as he wrestled Yamazaki to the ground. He's got to acclimate to the tempo of the game very quickly here. Jordan Jarvis is being tested right now. Lee Dok-yung's got plenty of pace, the young man from Korea. We talked about Taguig's experience. You have somebody like Jordan Jarvis coming off the bench. You had Arnel Amita, Tuason as well. Individuals who are in and around that national team setup, right, either for the youth or for the senior team. Grabe, they were able to put together this side in such short notice and be able to compete at this level. I must say it has been an impressive feat as well.
Yes, as Coach Giovanni said, they're all professionals here, and it's really important to see the kind of professionalism that they can show, na kahit na bago lang sila na team, that they all show up and do their best as professionals with international experience under their belts.
Ang ganda ng pagkabagsak ng bola. Nakita mo naman si Stefan Schrock wishing he had gotten better contact on that one.
Stefan Schrock has been working hard the past 83 minutes of the match, really being efficient with his movement and being that force to be reckoned with in the attack.
Mahmoud Ali standing firm. Stefan Schrock, 37 years young. A lot of people writing him off. He loves to prove people wrong. Showing tonight that he is still dangerous.
And with players like that, more than the physical strength that they have, it really is the mentality that they bring to the game. And as one of the veteran players of Taguig FC, it seems like that mentality is something he's been sharing with his teammates, both experienced and young.
Schrock and Amita sharing the ball there, and that entry pass well met by Arboleda. Taguig venturing forward now with more regularity.
I think Taguig right now really just needs to connect their passes and support each other more, because they are in Kaya territory and they haven't been in the past 70 minutes of this match.
Menzi just guiding Grog out of bounds there. Made it look easy against the pacey winger. A couple of players needing a bit of treatment. Harvey Gayoso feeling the effects of that challenge earlier. He was looking for a penalty. He's cramped up as well. Meanwhile, Grog has gotten up. So both players able to shake off whatever was ailing them. Dokyong presents it to Ingreso. Amita being hounded. Not gonna trouble there. Quincy Camarad, 5 minutes to go in this one. Harvey Gayoso going to be replaced here by Joven Bidik.
Player number 18, Harvey Gayoso, replaced by player number 7, Joven Bidik.
Last roll of the dice for Kaya FC-Iloilo.
And when you sub in a forward in the last 5 minutes, it really just is a message to Taguig that watch out. Our intent is to score and to win it, and Bidik seems to be the personnel that Coach Yu has decided to be able to do this.
Camarad launching it forward. Grog spinning away. He's been called for a push on Fitch Arboleda. Taguig still have one last window to make substitutions. We'll see who they bring on with the dying moments of the game. Diano. Swinston. Yi Young caught there. It's gonna be a free kick. Seems to be a painful one for Park Yi-young.
Yeah, he's taken a lot of hits this past 80 minutes, and understandable to have that kind of frustration, especially as a midfielder when you keep getting contact after contact. But positive for Kaya Iloilo here that they have a chance on goal with a set piece.
Sakit yun. Knee to knee. Magkakaroon ng substitution dito ang Taguig. And it's going to come after the free kick, though. It's going to be one for the folks who have been fans of Philippine football for a long time. And this is A throwback to one of the most dangerous players Philippine football has seen. Izo El Habib making his return to top flight football. And he's coming on in place of Patrick Grog.
Player number 10, Patrick Grog. Replaced by player number 99, Iso El Habib.
When we talk about quality, Grog really did show how hard he worked for his team to try and take his defenders on, to try and cross the ball, contribute for his team, and a lot to be proud of for this player.
What can Izzeldin El Habib bring to the table here with 2 minutes to go and added time remaining? One of the apex predators inside the box in his day.
Definitely seems to be a player that you can't give any space and opportunity to.
I'm trying to feed him right away. Jarvis cutting out that pass. Amita feeding Schrock. Not many white shirts inside the box. Just got away from Schrock there. But Beru trying to play quickly, looking to find Lopez Mendy. Camarad.
Seems to be a back and forth between these two goalkeepers trying to play quick out of their goal box.
6 na minuto ang idadagdag.
Still a lot to play for, Jing. Ang daming pwedeng mangyari sa 6 minutes na to, and really the pressure is on.
I haven't seen many scoreless games, if any. Trying to rack my brain here. All the matches in the PFL so far this season, but this is a rarity. El Habib bodying Diano in the air. Play on, says the referee. Advantage given to Kaya. They're in a great position. Yamazaki always popping up in dangerous areas, and he's won a corner kick here.
Another opportunity for Kaya FC-Iloilo to finish this game off. And when you do have set pieces, you have the opportunity to do this because it's like a reset in a match na if you do it well, you can find joy.
Yamazaki's ball, it's a good one. Made a connection there with Ori Menzi.
Menzi this whole match has been trying to really contribute for his team. He has been firm in the defense, but at the same time, when he finds himself in pockets of space in the attack, he is looking to go on goal. And just qualities that you'd expect from the team captain.
Great to see 1,000 viewers on YouTube enjoying this game tonight. Being treated to quite the affair here between Kaya and Taguig. Quality pass from Saito to Parky Young, and Mendy gets it out wide. Flowing move here from Kaya. Lopez Mendy denied by Quincy Camarad. They're in the referee's ear. They're hoping for a penalty, and they are absolutely livid here. Parky Young, Fitch Arboleda, Robert Lopez Mendy all saying there was no touch on the ball. Let's have a look at it. Oh, Robert Lopez Mendy doing well to get there first. Let's have a look at it. Touched away. Was it enough? Quincy with his hands up. Kaya bench all on their feet. Ball into the box. That last angle wasn't conclusive on whether or not it was a penalty or not.
But here we have another opportunity for Kaya to score. And all of them seems to just be on their seats, wanting to contribute and finish this game.
Little bit of controversy here at the end, just a sprinkle. Yamazaki's ball, Usman. Not quite cleared here by Taguig. Yi Young doing well. But the ball is easy for Quincy Camarad to catch. What a few moments here for Quincy Camarad.
This game truly is everything we expected it to be and more.
Amita clipped and a whistle is blown.
Lots of emotions, Jing. And as players, especially if you're on the receiving end of contact, it can be frustrating.
Let's see it again. This one, you can't see who got contact first, but it did look like he did get a lot of Robert Lopez Mendy. Quincy Camarad will be thanking his lucky stars.
He got a little bit lucky there. At wala tayong pa-VAR.
Touched on, El Habib. Saito not taking any chances. Arboleda looking to clear, and he's done so well. Bidik. It was his pass that released Lopez Mendy. And eto na naman ang Kaya. And Kevin Ingreso just clipping Mark Swainston. It's going to be a yellow card for his troubles. Teammates for the national team.
Last 30 seconds of open blazing and still plenty of time for both teams to take home the 3 points.
Can Kaya take advantage here? One last roll of the dice. Kaishu Yamazaki. 8 players to aim at inside the box. Straight into the arms of Quincy Camarad. And that might be it. One Taguig doing what no other team has been able to do, and that is keep out Kaya FC-Iloilo. It's taken quite an effort to blank the defending champions, but they've done the business here. 90 minutes, no breakthroughs between both sides. The question was, one Taguig ready for the PFL? They've certainly proven they've got what it takes to compete at this level. And for Kaya FC-Iloilo, it's disappointment for them. They felt they had 2 potential penalties that were denied. In a match where they dictated possession and had more of the chances, but in the end, no difference between the two teams.
And when we look at the numbers, understandable why it would be disappointing for Kaya FC Iloilo, because they do have 19 total shots on goal with 7 on target, and especially in the last 30 minutes of the second half, they really have been piling up the pressure and getting shots on goal, trying to score and finish the game. But one Taguig has been firm in their defense na sinabi nila, hindi, andito kami, we're gonna stay strong, and we're here to really compete in the PFL.
What a second half between these two teams, and Taguig also getting forward quite a bit as well in that second period. What a contest, and what a showcase of the quality of the football here in the Philippines Football League, as we saw some real quality out there on the pitch.
It has been an enjoyable match, Jing, seeing players, both experienced and newcomers, work together and work against each other to try to make each other better. And as a fan, this is everything you'd want to see in a football game and more. Questionable calls here and there, controversial calls that could have changed and dictated the match, but the officiating did their best with what they could.
You gotta love that. A little bit of everything. Quality on the pitch, physicality between the two teams. We saw some camaraderie shown, good sportsmanship being shown, and just a nice little sprinkle, a little dash of controversy in there as well. Doon natin nakita na kahit walang goals, very entertaining match between these teams. And you see Mahmoud Ali, actually, he's limping off the pitch. Players pushing themselves past the pain barrier to complete the 90 minutes. And we talked about the implications this would have on the table. It's our first draw between these two sides. They're still undefeated. And we'll see how things transpire as we have an opportunity now to go pitch side with Megan Cabrera.
Jing and Cam, our moment man of the match, Stefan Schrock with 21 total passes. Stefan, I know you came off an injury, you played the whole 90 minutes. It's not the result you wanted, but take me through what's going through your mind right now.
Well, ultimately, Kaya is a very, very strong team. They lost a couple of players, but they got very good additions. The first 3 games, it dominated totally the team, so I think we kept them very good defensively. Overall, with the draw, we can be happy because it's a single round season and every point matters.
So with that, what are your key takeaways just right off the top of your head?
Well, we didn't concede, which is very good. We were a little bit sloppy in the final third, but we are in the fourth game only, and there's plenty to work on always.
Thank you so much. Still, congratulations to you and your team. Back to you, Jing and Cam.
No, I'm 30.
It's okay.
Step on next time.
Step on.
By one Taguig that they are forced to be reckoned with here in the PFL.
Definitely, and lots of learning, lots of takeaways for both teams, and it really just shakes things up, especially with the format of the PFL where all 15 teams just go against each other once. And sabi nga ni Stefan Schrock that 1 point is crucial, and as the season goes on, every little detail counts, even down to like the defense, down to the goals for and against, the goals you've scored.
What a chance that was from Harvey Gayoso earlier on. And if he was able to put that away, it would have been a different story. Of course, so many what-ifs after a great game, but we've still got so much action to look forward to here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium, as we've got Mendiola and Manila Digger going head-to-head in just a few minutes. We hope you enjoyed the action between One Taguig and Kaya FC-Iloilo. Cam, your final thoughts?
A lot to be proud of for both teams, a lot of learnings. I think especially for this match, One Taguig has this point under their belt, and for Kaya FC-Iloilo, back to the drawing board, and the question now that they need to answer is how do we learn from this and how do we build on this performance for the next 10 games.
Thank you so much, Cam. A pleasure calling this match with you, and for our team here in the PFL, Direk Francis and our pitch side reporter Megan Cabrera. My name is Jing Hamlang. Thank you for watching, and stick around for Manila Digger and Mendiola FC.
Always tryna put
put me down on the ground, but I haters be jealous, cause I do right in their mind. In their minds, screw up with me, boy, don't go right in their minds. Come on, at me, boy.